Where is my Q&A? Here, Allyson.
Oh yeah, I have.
You have one?
Yeah.
All right. You check them out. Are they okay?
Yeah, I was reading them. They're fine.
They're fine. Okay. You wanted to make sure. Okay. Are you ready?
Okay, we are good.
You ready?
Yes, we are ready.
All right. So let me just let my people know that we are now live on Facebook. How do I get back to this?
So go back to
The music.
start broadcast. Now you can't play any music, remember? That's where the problem is. If you play music on Facebook,
We're gonna take off the music. That's what I want to do. There you go.
okay. So now go back to start broadcast.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Welcome everyone. If you are tuned in, we are live on Facebook. We want to thank you all for joining us today. It's a sunny day, 54 degrees. It's now 12:02 p.m. And we are Optima Gold Radio with my co-host, Dr. Vanji Hazel, and our beautiful guest, Miss Allyson Swaby from the Reggae Girlz. Now, this was quite, it's interesting because your dad and I have been friends for years. And I remember while we were playing, he would always speak about you and your sister. He said he would just drop the soccer ball, or he would get him out of the house and say, come on, juggle this ball. Your mom said that you were the one that would always take on the challenges. He would say, $50 to the one who can juggle to 50. And you would not come in until you did it.
Yeah, well, because I wanted the money, right?
I love it. I love
It's a business lady, you know?
That's right. That's right.
That's great.
That's right. Do you know I have a baby picture of you?
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness. I'm not going to embarrass you.
Yeah, keep that.
Welcome.
Your mom is, and see, genetics is so amazing. Your mom and dad are both athletic folks. Your mom's a great, she like transformed the netball association here in Connecticut, in Hartford. Mm-hmm. Your dad played for Middlesex College, and one of the better players I've seen so far in Connecticut. Now he's like me, we don't do certain things anymore. We know where we stand. But back in his days, he was quite a player. And he would always, as I said, would always speak about you. Now, from you were a little girl, your parents said you got into several sports programs, and you were always competitive.
Yeah.
They said you took on the challenges. Now, what got you into soccer? Because you played basketball and track and field.
Yeah.
But normally, when you're a multi-talented person and you do several sports, you tend to be a little bit indecisive as to what you're gonna. But what made you branch into soccer? Was it?
Yeah, I think that from an organized level, soccer was like the first thing that I was introduced to. So it was the first team I was on, the first time that I ever really had experience, I guess, the full community that comes with being on a team. So I think that I've had that general little attachment to the game. But yeah, I think that as I got older and with soccer, like the first opportunity came there to go and play college and get a scholarship. So I think it was a really natural choice in that sense. But yeah, I think I excelled at it from a really young age.
Very good. So you played several competitions. You did a couple of soccer programs. You played at William Hall High School in West Hartford, Connecticut. You were captain, team captain. You helped the team to go 13, 2, and 4 and advance to the state tournament. You were named to the Hartford Courant's 2013 top 10 players to watch. And in 2012, 2013, you were an All-State and All-New England honoree. You have much accolades to your name. Now, let's get down to the real deal. You are a graduate of Boston College. Go Eagles!
Yeah.
Now, do you actually miss, being back in college, the camaraderie and all that stuff?
Yeah, I think that, college was like the last phase of life where you kind of have the freedom to make some mistakes, learn along the way, just have fun. So I definitely think I missed that bit of freedom and youthfulness, you could say. But I'm still really close to a lot of my teammates, so thankfully those relationships have been able to, survive the test of time post school.
Right.
So if anything, I think that's what I would be missing the most. But I'm really lucky to still, have a lot of them. So
Awesome. Did you ever feel or have an idea where your destiny would be?
yeah, I don't know if I knew I would take soccer this far per se from a young age, but I think I had this like weird, naive thing to me where I just thought I could do anything from a really young age, and I don't know who really or where that was instilled in me, but I genuinely thought I was going to be great at something, I think, and I don't know if I knew what that was, but obviously soccer became the thing. But yeah, I was just pretty excited to try different things, and everything that I did when I was younger, I just wanted to be the best. So I think I knew that would
That's
take
a
me
great
places.
competitive nature. And you were actually self-motivated.
Yeah.
You had that drive in you from a young age, which is rare because most of us, when we're young, we're still finding ourselves. We're still trying to get to that place where we recognize exactly where we are and what we want to do. But as a player, what really drives you?
I think that, when I'm playing, I'm in this space of flow, we call it, and I'm not thinking. Everything is just natural. Everything is habitual. My body is just making all the choices for me. My mind is so turned on that it seems like it's turned off. And so for me, chasing that kind of sensation is a huge part of why I continue to play and just how that feels and being able to pursue a passion, I think. I think when I left school, I didn't think I would play for much more than 2 or 3 years. So for me to kind of realize that this is something that I want to do for as long as I can, just came from the joy that I get from playing and being surrounded by my teammates. And, obviously with Jamaica, kind of realizing that there's a big legacy for us to create and a lot that we can leave behind on the field and off the field. So
Awesome.
it just feels like there's so much more to be done, and I think that's what's really exciting about it.
Right. So you're focused. You are fully immersed in what you're doing. When you're on that field, nothing else matters.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about what you're doing, and you're a team player. And as being that I have recognized that, I would like to ask you, what is your strongest asset? What do you think is your strongest asset?
I think for me, probably just my leadership. I think that I motivate the people around me. I think that I help bring the best out of other people.
Yes.
And I think that that's super important because I'm not going to play great every game. I'm not going to be perfect every game. I'm going to face opponents that are better than me, but I know if the 10 other people on the field and whoever else is coming on, if they're able to perform at their best, that's ultimately what's going to help the success of the group, and that's what's special about playing a team sport is that
Yes,
I don't have to rely on myself, just myself at the end of the day. So
that's right. Team is as strong as its
Yeah.
weakest link. And playing as a, I can attest to that. Playing as a defender. I was the last defender. I was the sweeper.
yeah,
You realize there was a big responsibility. You're seeing everything, and I declined captainship, but I'll tell you, I still played a role,
yeah,
and that's what you were saying earlier. When you get on that field, you know you have players that are just as talented and are driven, but you have that mindset, that responsibility to go out there and say, "Hey, let's do this." All right. Now, are you the type of player where you get hard on your players
I like to think
that
that
they're messing up?
I say things kindly like 2 times, and then maybe on the 3rd time, if you're not getting
You say,
it,
"Hey,
it
what's
might get a
going on?"
little less than nice. But I think that that's one of the things that I'm really proud of is that I can get on to people and they always know like where it's coming from.
Right.
They know who I am as a person, and they know that I'm ultimately trying to get the best out of them and the best for the group. So,
Right.
yeah, I know that people respect me, even if it is a
Exactly.
little bit harsh sometimes.
I like that. Now, you started playing soccer locally here before you were drafted by several teams. Now, how did that journey start? Where did you start playing first? And where have you played?
Yeah, so after school or after Boston College, yeah, the opportunity came around with the national team to play some qualifiers, I think 2 weeks before my graduation. And so we advanced out of that round, and I had pretty much already been speaking with an agent, kind of knew that I wanted to keep playing, but we weren't really getting anything concrete. And then obviously when I came back, he was like, look, we have this offer in Iceland, you can do that, it's just 2 months and then you can figure it out. So I went and did that, and then we ended up qualifying for the World Cup, which obviously opened up a lot of doors in terms of interest from other clubs and whatnot. And so I think it was, I want to say maybe like less than a month after those qualifiers, I got an offer to go to AS Roma, which I took, and I was there for 3 years. And then I just recently in January transferred back to a team in the United States in the NWSL, Angel City, based in Los Angeles. First year of the team, so yeah, it was a really exciting move, just to kind of come back to somewhere a little bit closer to home.
Right.
And then yeah, we qualified for next World Cup, so we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of agents out there.
Yeah.
And you're still in your prime. You still have your talent. So I'm quite sure you're going to get noticed. I have something here I would like to find out with you. Now, you show a preference for direct vertical football, and you often make vertical passes straight to the front line.
Mhm.
You are a skilled defender in aerial duels and can be tasked with man marking by your team. Owing to your athleticism and strength in individual duels. Do you agree with that?
Generally speaking, I think that my athleticism is definitely a part of my game that helps me in my position. And then I think that, yeah, depending on the style of play that my team is playing, I can look to go more direct. And if we're trying to play a bit more possession based, I think that that's something that I've added into my game after being in Italy, because that was definitely more of the style that we use. But yeah, I think that I'm just at a stage where I'm trying to be an adaptable player and be able to fit, as many environments or different styles of play as I can.
Awesome. Now, there's so much more to you than just a player, but what are some of the challenges you have faced as a female soccer player?
Yeah.
And I'm not just speaking about the social aspect. Let's look at the financial,
Mm-hmm.
constraints, restraints, and limitations.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that, growing up in the U.S. soccer world, I was raised like with everything being equal. So if boys had it, girls had it. You go to college, they've got to give the men's team and the women's team the same resources. And then obviously, with my experiences professionally and my experiences with the national team, you know, that was like probably my first like really eye-opening experiences of like disparity. And yeah, I mean, we obviously, from a national team standpoint, we struggle financially, being considered an equally worthy investment as our male counterparts. And I think that that's something that we've been like chipping away at to better for ourselves, obviously, just with our results in the field and getting a lot of our players in high profile clubs just helps in general to build our brand and improve or I guess showcase the value that we all already know that we have. And then, you know, at Roma, they were building in the women's team for the first time when I got there. And from year 1 to year 3 or 4th season I was there, you could see just the continued investment and the continued desire to just elevate the team and have it be respected across Europe. And I think that that stems from, you know, the ownership and the people that are in charge believing that the women's program is just as important. And then Angel City in LA is a really unique experience because it's just a women's team. So we don't have male counterparts that we have to tend to.
Oh, but I thought, excuse me, but Angel City isn't a part of the Los Angeles Lakers?
No, so we are our own team owned by women.
Nice.
And I think that it's one of the most unique experiences that anyone could have in football, just being able to know that everything that the team is working for, everything that's, you know, all the money that's being spent, all the resources are going just towards our program. And obviously, I'm sure it's a goal of theirs to roll out youth programming, et cetera. But to know that, you know, they have bet on us and they see us as more than just something to, you know, give money to because you have a daughter or because you want to support women, but because you actually see it as something that can be profitable. And we've been playing, we play where LAFC plays, and we've had, of our 11 or 10 home games, we've had, 6 or 7 sellouts of 22,000. So we've just proven, again, what we already knew, that there's a demand for the game and that it's respected. And once people see it, I think that's when they really fall in love with it. But it's just, you know, obviously driving attendance and getting people in the stands in the first place.
Here's something that I have observed. So you have the Reggae Girls and you have the United States women's soccer team. You have the Reggae Boys and the United States men's soccer team. The two teams that are showing consistency and success. The two female teams. Mm-hmm. The men are not doing that great. The United States men teams are a little better than the Jamaican Reggae Boys. Here's where I am troubled. The subsidies and the financial support for you ladies seems to be so difficult. What is it so hard to put that investment or that money into providing all the necessary comfort that is needed for you guys?
Yeah.
It seems so hard.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, you have to spend money to make money. And I think everybody knows this.
Right.
I think that it's often forgotten in the women's game. You know, people are really quick to compare, you know, they make this amount, they bring in this, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, if you have something that you're not marketing, it's going to be more difficult for it to sell. So I think that what I see for us is just that continued investment is ultimately what's going to pave the way for us.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, it's beyond comparing, you know, to the men's. It's just respecting what we do as its own thing and seeing it as its own valuable asset. So.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the name of that young lady from the United States women's soccer team that she had to lobby for the benefit of equal pay?
Yeah, I mean, it was the entire team
It
that
was the
kind
entire
of pushed
team.
for it. And yeah, I mean, obviously their fight looks a little bit different than ours, but ultimately when you have a team like that, that's at the top driving the
Yes,
standard,
of course.
you're either going to see a trickle down effect or you're going to see them pull everybody up with them. So it's really important that they're continuing to fight up there because ultimately it's setting the standard. And
Yes.
we know as the Reggae Girlz, for example, like what there is to look forward to or what there is that we want to try to achieve and how we can continue to try to grow within
Right.
ourselves. So
It is all a work in progress.
Yeah.
And just like you said, you use the right term, trickle down process. If they're doing well and what they're doing is for the benefit of all female soccer players, then the cause is worth it.
yeah,
You know, it's worth the stress that these young ladies have to go through. Now, there's a couple of things that I also wanted to mention, and we're going into now with the Reggae Girlz because I want you to tell us and tell the listeners out there, what position do you play with the Reggae Girlz?
I'm a center back. Center defender.
You're center back.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you can play fullback as well.
No, not really.
No?
I'm usually just strictly a center back. Yeah.
So you play stopper or sweeper?
We don't use that anymore.
You don't use that
Just
role
use, like
anymore?
two flat center potential
Oh.
defenders. Yeah.
The soccer styles, they
Yeah,
have
the
changed
game's
up so
evolved.
many things. Yeah. So I'm telling you about sweeper. That is age old.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your give us the experience? Because remember, you're born here. Your parents are West Indians,
Mhm.
and so you got recruited for the Jamaica national team. Tell us about that experience. How did you feel at first? Did you feel a little scared, or were you excited because okay, I have an opportunity I could also represent here? But you guys made the decision. You're playing for Reggae Girlz. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, I think obviously my first time going to camp, I was nervous. But I mean,
Where were you in Jamaica?
No, we were in Orlando.
Oh, you were in Orlando. Okay.
But yeah, obviously, first time doing anything, being on a new team is always can be a little bit nerve wracking. But yeah, I think from the second I got there, I just like had this feeling of like, wow, this like feels really right. This feels like home. And that just goes to the culture of Jamaicans in itself.
You were welcome.
Exactly. And I think that it was so easy to fit in. There were quite a few girls in similar situations, grew up in the US, but had parents that were born in Jamaica. So there was a lot to bond over, way more than I expected.
Very good.
Yeah, it was a really natural transition, honestly.
I think when you have a team that has a close knit connection
Yeah,
off the field,
yeah.
it transcends right on that field while you're playing.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have seen teams succeed when the players are not super
Right,
close. But I think for us, that is like one of the things that drives us the most and that gets the best out of us is that a lot of us are like sisters at this point. So
Right.
you know that the person next to you is working not only for themselves but just as hard for you, and we're able to have really open communication with one another,
Very good.
and just like a trust that the trust you have with your family members, as much as you want to try to recreate that can be difficult, but it feels like we have that level of trust on the field, and I think that that's super important for us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now this is your second World Cup with the Reggae Girlz. If you were to look at the qualifying process for both World Cup tournaments, would you say this one qualifying is much more exhilarating, or the first one? Which one gave you that like, wow, we did it?
Definitely the first one, more so because it was like a shock. I think the whole process, we just kind of had this like, well, we're happy to be here attitude, where we had zero expectations, like, and that allowed us to be very free and very joyful the entire time, because we felt like everything we were doing had already defied the odds. We had already superseded expectations by winning any game. And so that one, like, when it really like sunk in, that was like, oh my gosh, like how did we pull it off? Like, I genuinely don't know how we did it. And then this time around, it was still joyful, obviously, but there was a lot more pressure on us because we did it before. So
I remember that.
I was nervous in a way that I was certainly not nervous the first time around. Haven't been probably the most nervous I've been in my career, to be honest.
Right.
But just because we wanted to do it again, and we knew we had a better team, and like, we genuinely would have all been really disappointed had we not qualified this second time around. Whereas the first time, probably there would have been some disappointment, but it still would have been, generally speaking, pretty optimistic because we had just done so much with so little. And so this time around, I think it felt way more like business. And like a job, not a job, but we're here and there's a very specific task at hand that's qualifying, and we're accepting nothing less than that. So there was way more pressure around it, which, I mean, it was still it's equally rewarding, but I think that the sensations I remember from the first time around are just really, really strong.
This last qualifying, that game, you had to win, I think, by a certain amount of goals.
The last game, we had to win. We couldn't tie.
Right.
Yeah, they had us up on goal differential.
Right.
Yeah.
And the jubilation that I saw when I watched you guys after the game.
Yeah.
I felt like I was a part of the celebrations. Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was really exciting. We had been through a lot this cycle, changes in coaches.
Yes, that was something we were discussing, a group of us.
Players getting their, clearances to play in the middle of the tournament. Just so many different things that we were juggling. And so I think that when we won, it was just like, what we didn't know was fully possible in February, to see it like all manifest and go how we wanted was just, so gratifying.
You know what? I'm giving you guys, I got to give you guys a hand, because I really, when you're faced with all these adversities and you succeed, it says a lot about the individuals taking part in this whole process. Now, I heard you say it, right? So I know, by just the way you're speaking, I can see educationally or academically, you have that skill where you actually interacted with what's going on with this soccer program. And you have a bachelor's degree in marketing from Boston College. Now, even when you no longer play professionally, but in my mind, listening to you, now I'm not sure about your sister, but listening to you, I have this strange feeling you're going to go further with this soccer thing. You're either going to go into coaching, or you're going to be doing a technical a school or something. But with your marketing degree, will you still stay with soccer, or do you think after all this, the soccer, the tournaments, your professional career, I'm just gonna settle into my academic career?
I don't know, honestly. I think about it here and there, but I know I want to stay attached to the soccer world. What that looks like, I don't exactly know per se, but I definitely know that I want to be a part of the game still. Probably not field side, I don't think, but I think that there are a lot of opportunities in the game, and just seeing how the women's game is growing globally, I think that it's something that I definitely want to continue to be a part of. From that aspect of just continuing to help grow the game. So I don't know what it looks like, but I'm glad I have the degree. That way, I'm blessed with a few options at the end of the day.
Let me just say this: a lot of young ladies look up to you who know you. You're local here in Connecticut. What do you think would be a good thing for these young girls to allow them to strive more, put that effort out to stay with the soccer program? Because my daughter's tried it.
Yeah.
And after a few weeks, my second daughter, she said she didn't want to play anymore. My third daughter, I don't know why I'm blessed with 4 girls, but let me tell you, I just think that we need ambassadors like yourself for younger females that will help them to feel that get motivated and stick with it, stay with it. And I mean, not ignoring your school program, but putting that effort into the soccer. Because in the United States, especially, and I'm going to say this, and maybe I'm putting myself on the spot. Go to Jamaica so we can help our young girls to improve their skills, so we can challenge the United States and show them that we have the talent. The talent is there. But we need ambassadors who can go down and help these kids. So do you think that's something that you would challenge yourself to do for the younger people?
Yeah, I think that, right now I feel like a lot of us as players, I think we just try to lead a bit by example, and that right now is just playing and showing our love for the game and whatever that looks like. But I know that for me, leaving something for the next generation is really important, and I think that the way that encouraging girls to play, what that looks like for me is, leaving my national team program specifically better than how I found it when I got into it. So I think that for me, my goal ultimately is to drive the standard to be higher, so that when I retire, the things that I experienced my first year with the national team are laughable. That we don't have to worry about anything, girls don't have to worry about equipment, traveling, anything like that. All these things are just like the standard and what's expected. So I think that that's how I choose to try to impact the game. It's just, really trying to drive the level within the program.
So here's what I'm saying here. You're getting a lot of big up. This lady, Doreen Williams, said truly impressive. Vimmer's awesome. Damian Garden said enough respect, more love. And he said, Allyson, big up yourself, girl. Always good to have options career-wise. Education is the key always. More power. So you're getting a lot of love. Yeah. People are really appreciating what you're doing. So Allyson, presently you're playing professionally. And you're playing for the
Angel City.
Yeah. Now, how's it? And do you plan to stay and move further into this professional program?
Yeah, so this is my first year playing in the US. It's a different style that I've been used to, so it's been just about transitioning and trying to get a foot in and get grounded in the league. But I'm on a multi-year contract, so I guess I'll see what happens moving forward. But the project there is really exciting, and I think I'm living a once in a lifetime experience.
Nice.
To be honest, nice. So I'm really grateful for that.
Awesome. What is it like? I got to talk about Chantel just a little bit. What is it like playing with your sister? Do you have sibling rivalry as two sisters.
Yeah, it's good now. I mean, I feel like when we were a bit younger, we weren't the best playing alongside each other, but we've like learned how to communicate like adults now. So
Is she a defender herself?
yeah, so we play with the national team. Most recently, we've been playing side by side.
Two sisters
Oh.
playing in the central defense
yeah.
for Jamaica. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
So that's been fun. But yeah, we're different players. We're very different personalities, even though we're also very similar, but different personalities. So yeah, just like trying to find the balance on the field has been something we've worked on. I think we've finally kind of got it under wraps. But
Do you guys
yeah,
sit down and discuss these things?
no, not. I mean, sometimes like we might have a session or a game where I'm like, listen, I just gotta let you know, like this, we can't do this way, or we need to do this that way. I'm older, so I think I'm just naturally a bit bossier.
Using that seniority.
As much as I try not to be the the one calling all the shots, I think I do.
Why not? Just
I think I do.
use your
I'm
power.
probably a little bit more, but bossy.
Someday she's gonna wake up.
Yeah,
You
she's
know?
taller though, so a lot of people think
Okay.
she's older, so she gets to like enjoy that bit of it, I guess. But
Now, somebody's having a birthday. Is that,
I just had it.
you
Yeah,
just had your birthday.
on Monday.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! So you had a good time and everything.
Yeah, just
That's great.
relaxing.
Now we're almost finished here, Allyson, but we have a question. We wanted to hear who has been your biggest influence throughout your career?
That's a tough question. Biggest, and I don't know. I mean, this sounds probably weird, but probably just my teammates, because I think at the end of the day, on the days where I was like, I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? This is too hard. I'm tired. Any negative thought, like they were the ones that
They
were
pushed
like
you.
right beside me, being like, "Listen, I don't want to do it either, but we're gonna get it done." So yeah,
Wow.
they've been the ones that have motivated me, and I think that obviously you can call your parents or whatever other friends, and they can say all the nice things to you, but yeah, when somebody's like really experiencing it with you, and they're right by your side, saying, you know, I'm with you through it. I think that those are the people that have inspired me and motivated me the most. along the way.
Awesome. Now we know your parents,
Yeah.
and you don't have to say they've been very supportive. I remember the first time you qualified. Your dad mentioned to me he's going to, where was it, in France or?
Yeah, in France.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to France, and are you coming? I said, put me in your suitcase. I had to work. I couldn't make it. But his enthusiasm and excitement just to see you guys qualifying and getting there. And he would always put up these posts about you guys. How have your parents influenced you in your personal life and your professional career?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've supported me and my sister the entire time. I think that, I don't know, I feel like a lot of parents, a lot of Jamaican parents in general probably would struggle to understand, you know, two girls saying, you know, we want to go be professional athletes. It's just not the norm.
Right.
It's not standard. But to be honest, they never made us feel like it was
Amazing.
something ridiculous to be trying to pursue. And I mean, when I first told them I wanted to go play professionally, there's no way either of them thought there would be money involved, that there would be anything grand involved. And I mean, it's just the game itself has superseded all of our expectations. But I think that, you know, obviously they weren't there along the way, encouraging us and just supporting it. I mean, I would have never been able to experience all these great things. So yeah.
I love that. And that's the biggest compliment a child can give a parent as a dad. I'll tell you why. Many parents try to choose careers for their children.
Yeah.
But when you let them love what they do, what they're enjoying, there's more success in that direction than for you to tell them, I want you to be a lawyer because I'm a lawyer.
Yeah.
And but here's the thing: you both have your degrees. You educated young ladies. You're not just soccer players.
Mhm.
You have, if you were to get a severe injury, you can decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to give soccer a break. You can go into a marketing career. So you both are balanced, and that's the key
Mhm.
in this world of sports. Now, before we go, we want to ask you some little personal things. Okay? Now, what's your favorite? Oh, look, this is something I wanted to ask you personally.
Okay.
How do you, because you have a rigorous schedule,
Yeah.
you with the professional team, balancing it with the Reggae Girls, getting prepared for the World Cup next year. What do you do to relax and rejuvenate yourself on your personal time?
Yeah, I think yeah, just spending time with my friends. I have a decent amount of friends in LA that are not on my team, so
Yeah.
just kind of getting that break from the environment, clearing my mind in that way. And then like when I'm in camp, for example, obviously we're there to focus just on soccer, but whether that's movie nights with the girls or going wherever we might want to go, going on a walk, just exploring whatever place we might be in, just taking those breaks to like really enjoy the life aspect of it apart from the game, I think is what I try to do to really just unwind there.
That's great. Who's your favorite singer?
My favorite singer, probably this artist, her H.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah, she's like R&B and
Well, if
chill
you
vibe.
listen to my show on Sundays, I play those type of music.
Okay.
It's R&B. Your dad knows.
Got
As
it.
a matter of fact, I'll tell him to remind you tomorrow. What's it, 6 to 8 p.m.?
Yep.
Oh
Only
gosh,
2
I thought you
hours?
were gonna say 6 to 8 in the morning. I was
Oh,
like,
no,
you
no.
better not. You
I
better not
can't do that type of
remind me.
monitor.
You better not be reminding me.
I don't have that energy anymore. And do you like to dance?
I can't dance, but
No.
I'll try. I'm always the one embarrassing myself, but I'll try whatever new thing Ding Dong's got for the kids. I'll try it, but
Right.
I'm not the best dancer.
Now, do you have a guilty, what do you call it? Guilty
Pleasure?
pleasure. Something that, okay, you're on a strict diet,
Oh,
but when you're
yeah.
not playing, oh God, I crave this.
Yeah, like the sour gummy worms.
I thought you were gonna say chocolate.
No. Well, the next one is these cookies. They're Nutella biscuits, and you can't get them. You can buy them on Amazon, for example, for like $25 for a bag, which is way more than what they cost. But like if you go in the supermarket in a few European countries, you can get them.
Right.
So whenever like my sister comes from France, she'll bring me some.
Right.
When I was in Italy, obviously I could get them really easy, but. Yeah, if you ever see those, definitely try them. Those are my
Little, what do you call it? Sweet sour treat.
Yeah, it's like a cookie with chocolate on the inside. Pretty
That's
much.
great.
Oh, there goes chocolate.
Yeah.
Do you
It was
have
there
any,
somewhere.
do you have any questions for Allyson?
No, I mean it's just wonderful just listening to you and just recognizing, as Easy G said, a lot of young ladies don't have that kind of direction or sense of direction.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think you stride so many different worlds in what you do in terms of traveling, in terms of your sport, your education, and I don't even like to use the phrase role model, but I think maybe that's the only phrase that can suffice right now. Other young ladies seeing what is possible.
Right.
Because you didn't know you were going to be a reggae girl. You had no idea, what your life was going to be. And so I don't really have a question. I just have comments that I want to commend you
Thank you.
on your path. And I want, just for other young ladies to see what is possible. That you don't have to sit there and become, what everybody says, hey, you can be a teacher, a doctor, a nurse. The path you chose is applaudable, and I hope more young ladies get a chance to see what you do and recognize what they can do too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's really a pleasure having you. You're a breath of fresh air. You're very well spoken. You're confident, and you also have focus.
Yes.
You don't want to lose that. We are rooting for our girls, you, the Reggae Girls. And listen, here's the thing. Even in the last World Cup, when you guys, you lost a few games, we still felt proud.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The fact that you were there,
Exactly.
you participated, and you girls gave it your all. So whatever you're doing now, from here onward, as far as we're concerned, you guys have achieved. You're successful. Personally, I said it to your dad. I think this year, this World Cup tournament, you folks are going to surprise a lot of people
I think so too.
because you're seasoned, you're balanced,
Yeah.
you know what it entails. So you're going in there not as newbies, but as veterans.
Yeah.
You're going to make some noise up in that place.
Hope so.
Alright. So to all my listeners out there who joined in, we want to thank you, and we're going to ask you all, please continue to show your support for Allyson and the Reggae Girls as they continue their journey for next year's World Cup. And where will it be at?
New Zealand and Australia.
In Australia, New Zealand. The land down on the beautiful
Yeah, I've
places.
never been, so I'm really excited about it.
Can you swim?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I can survive in water. That's what I call it.
This sounds like my daughters.
I took swim lessons at some point. And
Yeah.
they're
My eldest daughter can swim. My second daughter, she's iffy. As long as she has a floating device,
okay.
She's
I'm
very
good
brave.
without a floating device.
yeah, she will go anywhere. My third daughter, she's okay. And my last little girl, she went to swimming school, so she's better.
That's good.
She makes a lot of noise in the water. But Allyson, it's such a pleasure having you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, and we hope you'll come back. We also have a little gift package for you, part of your birthday gift. Yes, and we hope you will enjoy it.
Thank you.
Well, we're rooting for you, and we will be speaking about you. Our doors are open, Optima Gold Radio. Anytime you need to come back, we're right here.
Cool.
We hope to get your sister as well.
Good luck.
Well, yeah,
I hope so
you're
too.
gonna need it. Yeah. But thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right. So, folks, that's it. This is Optima Gold Radio. We'll be back here tomorrow, 6 to 8. Please join us for Sweet Sensations with yours truly, Easy G. In the meantime, let's hear some music as we continue our program. Get it on the beat.